Ready.
We're live. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing? Say hey. We got Dave and we got Morton and Doorknob Head is here. Yes, it's going to be a good night.
It's gonna be a good night. We're now paid this year.
Yeah.
That makes it all better. And Robert. Hi,
Robert
Robert.
Taylor, yeah. And then I saw Doorknob Head,
Shadow
Dave,
Kitty.
Robert.
Shadow
Oh,
Kitty.
Shadow Kitty. Hi.
Oh, Shadow Kitty. And Dave and everybody. I didn't shout out anybody. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I love all of y'all. I actually need to turn the chat on. I can't see it right now.
Yeah, if you look in the StreamYard window, you can see the chat, but you can't respond to it. You have to pop out the YouTube chat in order to be able to
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
type in
No.
it. So
Okay, then I probably shouldn't look at it because I'll just want to say stuff.
well,
I
you can
get
say it out
distracted.
loud.
And they'll be like,
Well,
hey,
yeah, but
yeah.
I get
And I'll be like, no.
there some ADD could happen. I don't know. We'll see.
That's okay. That's all
See
right.
how it goes.
It's no rules here.
that definitely does happen. I can't do. I'll look over and see if there's something maybe I need to respond to, or if I'm rambling and people are like, "This is boring, I'm leaving." I'm like, no, we'll change.
They never leave. They're always hoping we get naked or something. I know.
Yeah, which we aren't going to do. But guys,
Not tonight. It's too cold.
Here's your insight into the feminine mind here. If you, I don't know. I used to tell my college students. I used to tell the young men to write poetry because I was like, seriously, guys, you want a girl to call you for a date? Poetry.
So, guys, we didn't pick a topic tonight, and we're hoping that Wonder Lady is feeling up to coming in here shortly. But any questions from the chat? Y'all get us started. Kick us off. Just because I was lazy and didn't come up with anything better.
I was about to offer a toast to the Danes for having an awesome everything, and I'll leave it at that.
Yes.
To the Danes.
Woo. To the Danes. Good toast.
Thank you. That was
we're just all in here complaining about quality healthcare, quality education, quality and Linda's just like, you people are fucking nuts.
Yep. Linda's just kicking back
for this. She can't be upset.
I don't have a problem.
It sounds horrible though.
Yeah, we did all that Trump talk in the backstage before we came live, so you can't trigger us that way. We got it out of our systems already.
We're done with his stupid ass.
Trigger me with Trump talk.
Safe to say we all hate his guts and don't understand why anybody else would not. So
I mean, Trump actually, I understand he's doing what everybody wishes they could do as president. It's hard for me to fault him because I know they would all do it if they could. The problem is no one's ever had the amount of love that Trump has. Nobody's had just blind support for everything they do. Like nothing. Well, Trump did it, so it can't possibly be wrong.
Right.
We have hate crimes up 3 times the normal. Because
God, we've lowered the. I'm sorry.
Racist statements. And so now people are like, oh, see, I was right. So I'm just going to go out and do shit. They don't have the support though. So they're all in jail now.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay there.
So, Mitch McConnell is making all these laws. The guys with Trump. And so now everybody wants to blame Trump. And it's not. It's just the Republicans being Republican. And clouding it under Trump. And all these Trump supporters are like, yeah, go get him. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. Someone's publicly saying what I didn't think we could publicly say, but we can publicly say it now. It's completely messed up. And you're right. They're following the leader.
I love Shadow Kitty.
Lily Wilt.
Mine too.
I was just fixing to say mine too.
I can't. Oh, now I'm picturing his face. Oh God, stop it. I need to kill some brain cells. Hang on.
It gives me that same smarmy, shuddery feeling I used to get when men would close their eyes and moan when they were getting a shampoo.
Ew,
and it's like, don't do that. Just don't. Control yourself. I know it feels good, but don't do that. No moaning while I'm washing your hair.
No, I mean, yeah, like it's a great scalp massage, but like women never do this, right?
No, women never did. They would speak to you, say, "Oh my gosh, yeah, scrub on my back. It's itchy over there," but they don't moan.
That's it. Yeah, it gives me that creeper feeling. Like every time a guy has grabbed my ass or stuck his hand up my skirt or whatever, and I didn't know who he was, nor did I invite that in any way. It's that feeling. That's the feeling I get. It's like, what? No.
Yeah.
Why are you in the chat and not in the stream?
What?
Say, I'm here, and I'm like, no, you're there. Like you're not here.
Yeah. I did the same thing in all fairness.
There she is. Dun dun dun.
Hey.
Hi, sweetie. How you doing?
I slipped in the driveway and practically split my head open, but I'm here.
Woman.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm gonna buy some airbags.
Okay, no head wounds, please.
No, right. Let's get her some bubble wrap. Oh my God.
Oh, you have no idea. I've had worse injuries, trust me.
Yeah.
I've spilled blood all over the place. Anyway. Not tonight though.
Good.
How's your head?
No, yeah. If there is blood, I would be like, you can go to the emergency room. We won't be mad.
Are you kidding? When I tore my toe off, I said, just give me some super glue and some tape.
Duct tape is my friend.
Oh my gosh. You and my best friend are exactly alike. She sliced her hand open on a canned good of some kind during a fundraiser. And it was bleeding profusely. And her husband, who is an EMT, was like, "Baby, this needs stitches. We need to go." And she said, "We can't. Give me super glue." And she literally super glued it shut and kept going.
That's what they're gonna do at the emergency room anyway. But they're gonna clean it out first. That's the trick, is getting it cleaned out so you don't get an infection.
Given that he was an EMT, he did have a kit on him. He always does. So I'm sure he did clean it out thoroughly before he super glued it. Or before she super glued it. He probably did that.
Out cleaning it out, but it was salt water, so it's okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, I had a.
I say, oh, that's fine, because I swim in the Gulf and it's fine. I don't know. Go ahead.
I think maybe we need to turn this into an intervention stream. Face yourself.
I had an anchor roll over me, so
it's not her. It's gravity. It's her mortal enemy. I swear.
Gravity.
I thought I took a lot of spills, but she takes cake from me. I'm telling you.
Oh, one time I was like 10 and I very carefully poured myself a glass of root beer, and I was so thrilled because we had soda in the house and it was so rare. We didn't have very much because we had like all my cousins there, so there was like 12 of us in that bottle. And I got my little thing of root beer, and I'm so happy. My grandmother's like talking to my aunt, and her hand just knocked that glass and it went all over me.
Oh no.
And I just looked at her, and she looked at me, and she went, "Well, we have to clean it up now."
No, my root beer.
I'm sad for 12-year-old Faye.
Oh my God! Right? No. Yeah,
or however old you were.
Like sucking the root beer out of her shirt.
Oh.
No! I just broke a nail. Fuck.
Ah, you're okay. I don't know why I felt the need to say you're okay. I'm sorry.
As long as there's no blood.
Look it off.
It's just a chip, but now it's gonna hang on everything I touch until I find a nail file.
Really sorry about crawling up the stairs the way I did. I don't know what it is with me lately.
Oh. I just got a really spooky image in my head. It was awesome.
Driveway.
Yeah, don't rush.
Yeah, none of that.
Because I didn't know at first, because neighbors saw me and they're like, "Oh, can I help you?" And I'm like,
"Oh no, there were witnesses."
Oh,
I hate that.
And I'm like, "No, I'm serious. I'm okay." So I had to explain everything to them.
You're supposed to pretend you didn't see this and keep going and move on. Move along.
Like, you don't do that. Now I have to kill you because that's a horrible story for me later.
And if anybody has a camera, they're dead. Just like no.
Yep.
Witnesses
Well, the worst
are the
thing
worst.
is when people see, they usually,
They want to fawn on you. Like, no, you didn't see a thing. Just keep walking. Keep going.
Please stop touching me. Please stop touching me.
That is very fair. Consent, it's a thing.
Exactly.
No,
on all levels.
Yeah.
Nerdy's here. Hi, Nerdy.
Yeah. Hi, Nerdy.
Nerdy turned me into a piece of artwork today, and I'm so honored.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't watched his video yet. I'm sorry, Nerdy. I'm going to watch it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I don't have a good reason.
Nerdy's channel lately. He's an abstract thinker for sure.
Yeah, the one he put up today was like totally trippy, and I enjoyed it very much. Yeah.
They're always gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I find them very soothing.
I don't know. I need to go by Lowe's. Renew my veterans.
Okay, will you bring me back some cigarettes, please?
Hi, Mr. Angie.
Oh, they said hello, Mr. Angie. His name is Grandpa.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Grandpa. That's so weird.
I already have 3 of those.
Grandpa Duck.
Mine's dead, so that felt really weird just then. I was like, hi, Grandpa. That's weird. Rest in peace.
Grandpa Duck. That's what the girls call him, Grandpa Duck. Because he likes to quack.
Grandpa, he likes to quack.
He does. It's a thing.
Is he a duck hunter?
He
Does he do like the calls?
Yes, he has a whole like necklace full of different duck calls, and
okay,
it's
now I get
his favorite sound effect, I think. And when the oldest was really small, she was and everybody calls him Doc because he's a doctor, but his name is Doc, and so I think the littlest one thought we were saying duck, and I think that's really how it came about. But he's Grandpa Duck.
That is so sweet. Oh,
but Philip was saying that he loves your background, and I do agree that it really suits you.
Oh, thank you. I'm all about some disco balls, man.
Heck yeah. This is just the shit in my house.
Like you're like Lego work. Like you need.
Yeah.
Oh no! You know what would be cool? It's like all your shelves, and like every time you make Legos, you can just put them on the shelves behind you.
They're over there.
They're there.
I love them.
Over there.
There's so many now.
I know, right?
Yeah, there is. You should see the downstairs.
Oh my gosh!
I used to tell my husband when he would go to hunt the ducks, I'd tell him, I'm going to pray for the ducks so you won't get any. He didn't.
Oh.
Well, I
guess that's good for the ducks.
I think I psyched him out, you know.
I have news for you. Ducks are assholes.
They are, but they're pretty, and their wetlands are diminishing, and
they're mafia.
I did not know how horrible they were at the time. Now I know, and I don't care.
A mallard is like the logo of the stream we're using right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mallards are mafia, and they're assholes.
They are very angry ducks.
Give me my food.
They are aggressive when fed. I have noted that. Yes.
Oh, they
all
house to
get
house
aggressive.
and shake us all down. It was like protection money. You know what I mean?
They go house to house
and corn.
Girl, you are in the country. Okay, yeah. I get it. I get it now.
It was like, hey, crack corn. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. You little fuckers, go to bed. You're still asleep. You're still asleep. No, they went. They got donations from everyone in the neighborhood, and once they were done with us, because we gave them our payment for the day, they go to the next house, and screaming, and then, okay, here's your crack corn. Go away, you fuckers. You know, and basically, it was a protection racket.
Yeah,
it's a protection racket.
I totally get your metaphor now. I did initially. I was like, what does she mean? No, I get it now.
You grew up with ducks. You grew up with ducks shaking you down. Basically, do you have food? Do you have food? Do you have food? And of course,
I was little. I'm gonna shit on your porch.
Oh God, no, yeah.
Give it up.
My grandmother would be like, "Oh, get the hose ready so we can clean up after them." What the? It's like a diner for ducks.
Yeah. we just visited them at the park. They had their place, so We could choose to
They
not
didn't
go
know
there.
where you lived.
They
That's
didn't
the
know where we
problem.
lived. No, there
Yeah.
was too much asphalt. They're not into it.
We've actually got a flock of about 12 mallards that live right here in my little section of the lake. And there's a couple, it's like 2 or 3 boathouses down where they hang out all the time. I think they feed them down there.
Oh, and I bet they look so cute and innocent, even though
They
they're not.
They do, but I'm so glad they don't live on my boathouse because I'm like, I would not want to have to clean that mess up.
No, fair.
They have opinions, and basically it's
do.
about crack corn.
They don't come to my yard. I have dogs, so my dogs have water access.
My grandmother would be like, oh, we should throw out some dried peas. It's like, no, we really shouldn't.
Don't give them anything.
Linda, I'm sorry. Faye's like, we should get the shotgun.
She's thinking about specializing their diet, and I'm like, no, it's okay. I would really rather sleep. And I'm a little kid, and at this point, I have lost all my affection for them, even though they're adorable and great to draw and things like that. But personally dealing with them screaming at you like, I'm starving, give me, I'm going to mess up your porch. Give me now.
You start throwing inedible things at them and see if they'll eat it. Like throwing cigarette butts at the seagulls at the beach. Here, eat that, you annoying bastard. Get away from
love
me.
that it was little baby Faye who was like, no, fuck off.
It really was.
Because it's usually it's the parent or grandparent saying, no, you can't keep it just because it followed you home. You're like, no, get rid of it.
And there's 30 of them. It's kind of hard to find affection for 30 screaming ducks in the morning, and they're like nibbling your shoelaces too. Like, I'm gonna burst into your house. It's like, I've got a cat.
Yeah.
They don't care. I'm worried about my deaf cat because I know they're gonna win.
I'm sorry, I laughed at your deaf cat.
Oh,
that's funny. If she tell her what else was up with the cat.
She was also a hermaphrodite. She was a boy on the inside, female on the outside.
Oh, that was
totally deaf, absolutely gorgeous, a bit of an asshole, and she used to steal my powdered donuts. I only got like one every 3 months because we were on a health food kick all my life.
That's a cat. That is a fantastic cat.
She was absolutely gorgeous, but still, deaf as a doorknob. And
hi, Randy.
Hey, Randy.
My cousins would be like, so what do we call her? I said, well, her name is Middlesex.
Perfect.
But she was named Middlesex before we knew what was going on with her.
Oh, was it because of the book? Or
because there's a county in New Jersey named Middlesex, and we named her after the county, even though she's a California cat.
Okay.
I wish they all could be California cats.
I have no business harmonizing right now.
We got the cat from a gay couple who used to babysit me.
Oh my.
They couldn't keep her, and they didn't know she was deaf. We found that out. We found out all her little idiosyncrasies. But we almost lost her in a drive-in.
Oh.
A drive-in movie?
Yeah, we took her with us.
You must explain. A, why was she with you? B, how did you almost lose her? And C, was it because of popcorn?
We were in the car. We went for food. So, yes, it must have been popcorn. But we had the window cracked. And you know how cats can, like, basically turn into liquid and squeeze through anything?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So we got back and the cat wasn't in the car. My mother burst into tears. So she basically had her 4-year-old crawling around on her elbows looking underneath tractor trailers and trucks.
Oh my God.
And we're screaming for the cat, and the cat can't hear. We don't know she's fucking deaf as a post. She's pure white though, so she's easy to spot. And then once I got her, I was like, "Here, kitty, I've got candy." And she's like, "Give me the candy." So she came for a green lifesaver, which was great, but grabbed the cat, got back into the car, and my mother's like, "Our cat's an asshole." I went, "Yes."
Hi, Rory. And hi, Means. No, there's no Nadine today. She is still in Missouri plucking her pheasant.
Someone's got
Is that a euphemism?
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. It is most definitely a euphemism.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
I know.
Her sweet
Thank
Babu
you
lives
for
in
rubbing it in.
Missouri. She's been visiting for the last few weeks, and there's no internet where she's at, except occasionally, and so we haven't seen much of her.
Oh, sorry.
But I think she'll be back
understand
next
that.
Saturday, right?
Does she have a job?
I have no idea.
I hope she's back next Saturday. I miss her so much.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I forgot that.
Oh no, we hit a lull now, and I
No,
feel
I have
pressure
a
to speak.
question.
Oh,
I
thank
have
God.
a question. Basically, can
Thank my
someone
godless life.
please
Okay.
explain the whole egg thing?
Egg?
Egg thing.
There's
What
this
whole?
egg thing going on.
You'll
Is
have
this a
to be more
meme? Because I might.
specific.
Some dude is obsessed with eggs, women's eggs.
I don't know.
Like mine?
Like
I'm
every
42.
female's
You don't want
eggs.
these. They're old. Follicles are old. You don't want this shit.
Are you
Mm-mm.
kidding?
No.
Does anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about?
I've already gone through the pause.
Yeah, I done run out of eggs. I don't care if they care.
Wait,
about eggs.
are you talking about? Are you talking about? There is a. I was told we weren't to venture, but there's a certain political figure who like wants to make it so we have to freeze our eggs, or are you talking about the like in?
Oh wait, I didn't
The-
hear about that before. But
I don't know
no,
that
there's
that's a thing.
some
I
highly
don't know that that's
religious
the thing.
person who wants to like tell us what to do with our eggs.
Oh, there's
Artie's
always one of
here.
those.
Are you?
Yay. Hi, Artie.
Ooh, Artie.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be dismissive as I said that. I just I
is
think
it
there's
that
always one of those.
Molyneux? Is it that
Probably.
Stefan dude? Is that who you're talking about? Because I can't stand him.
I
I
don't
blocked him a
know.
long
I
time ago.
haven't been able to follow it. I did draw the eggy thing and
Oh
charming.
my gosh.
But oh yeah, did you not see that?
No, I didn't, and I try to keep up with that stuff because I try to bring that stuff up on my channel. The whole 5 videos I have on there, but still, it's that's messed up. But that's all about
disparage
controlling us.
yourself. I think so, but it's just kind of like I don't know, weird. In
It's a weird angle to
really
take. For sure.
bad way.
So they're okay. So I'm getting the idea that it's someone who thinks that we're just breeding stations. Yes.
I guess either that or he
Baby
really wants
factories.
an omelet.
Gross. Or really doesn't understand how biology works because we're born with like tens of thousands of like we're born with every egg we're ever gonna have.
Yeah.
Which is kind of amazing anyway. All female mammals are. It's kind of amazing. And I'm not talking about gender identity there, obviously. I'm just talking about sex. But so if you're born with those parts, you've got all that. And then you've got, but then like, there's no way to police that. I mean, we get rid of at least one every month naturally anyway. And if I have to explain why, you need to go back to a biology textbook.
Right.
Hi, Jen's here. Jen's little corner.
Fresh eggs are better for scrambling.
It could be an omelet. Could be an omelet. You never know.
Jen! Sorry, got excited. Okay.
Rudy,
I'll
get
stop.
down. It is not time to eat. Get down.
It's like, no, but I'm here. It's time to eat.
They're going to start harassing me it's about 30 minutes till dinner time. And so they just start with the
They're like, why do you get
eyes.
online now
Right?
when we don't care what everybody else is talking about?
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I'm doing.
No,
They're running on tummy time.
That clock. Like my stomach is ready for food in it now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they go by the sun. I go by the clock, so it's always a little off.
Well, if they go by the sun, then they're not supposed to be begging yet.
That's true. Except it's starting to get dark outside, so that's why.
Yeah, it's dusk here too.
Yeah. But finally got the family to leave and go find something else to do. So
nice.
Yay.
Happens.
Well done.
Like, don't you all just want to leave me alone? Like,
I don't chase them off often, but when I do, I'm dead fucking serious about it. Like, I am busy and I do not want to be disturbed. Stop talking to me. Just whatever you need, go bother Grandpa. He's got this. And if he can't handle it, then that's his problem.
Well, you gotta have you time.
Yeah. My grandmother trained my cousins pretty early. They'd go in and, what are we gonna have for dinner? She'd turn around and go, well, you're getting shit. Everyone else is getting food. Why would I get shit? Because you're asking me and you're giving me shit.
Right? Irritate me one more time and see what happens.
Exactly.
Wow, your grandma was hardcore.
She was tiny too.
Oh, love it.
All 4'11".
Oh my gosh.
I know. It was so cute. And she was such a bitch. It was wonderful and glorious. She'd be like looking through the old photo album and her and her sisters, because she was from a very large family. And which one are you? I'm the thin and pretty one. She wouldn't even. I was like, can you point? She goes, it's obvious. We have albums. I don't know which one she is. I'm the thin and pretty one. Okay. And that was the answer. All the answer I got. Just sort of like, and she's looking at me like, don't defy me.
Oh.
So funny.
That's bad. I think when you're 4'11" and a woman, you kind of have to be that way. Like I don't know. I'm probably overgeneralizing, but
no, I think
and maybe even being a little sexist.
No, I think I agree, because like all the women in my family are very, very small, but very, very loud. Except for I'm not very, very small. I'm taller. So my mother always took advantage, like, come with me to the store. They can see you over the counter. We'd go somewhere like the deli, and she'd be like, I would get service, but she wouldn't, because they can't see her.
Right. Oh my goodness.
We used to say that we'd put a little bicycle flag on her belt so people can tell where she is. She'd be like, you're a fucking cunt. I'm like, I know. But anyway, we would do all this stuff, and Nana though was very, very powerful. And I remember taking a women's studies class in college, and they were talking about the patriarchy and things like that, and I'd be like, no, the men in my family don't behave that way. They die. They're like, no, it's that way. The women in your family are oppressed, especially the older ones. And I'm like, you haven't met my grandmother. She would have crushed my grandfather's face with a brick in his sleep. No, that doesn't happen in my family. Maybe in yours, but not mine.
Oh,
they would have died.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I'll be telling tales out of school if I say anything other than that's freaking awesome for you, Faye. And I would be so proud of that.
Well, I found out because maybe it's because they're small, so the men must have wanted to protect them and let them have their way. But I'm taller, so no one let me have my way.
I can say a positive thing there. I get my dad is like that. My dad is just groovy. He's the most laid back person in the world. My mom and I are exactly alike. She's one of the most anxious people you will ever meet, and she's very loud. And my dad's just chill, and they're the perfect match that way. Like they've been married for like 50, oh my gosh, like 57, 58 years now, something like that. Wow. And they're just chill. Yeah.
That sounds like mine. My mom was real anal and very uptight, and my dad is all mellow and laid back, and they were the perfect yin and yang.
Yeah, they balance each other out. Yeah.
My parents were both together. My little brothers used to say that they were sure that they were going to get divorced as soon as the last one left the house.
Oh my.
That's no bueno. My parents used to have some fights, and we would stand up. We'd be upstairs, me and my sister, my little brother, going, "Well, if they're going to divorce this time, we want to live with Dad."
Yeah, that's what we would do. My sister and I shared a room, and we slept in the same bed actually, because there was just one double bed in this room, and that sounds weird, but it wasn't anyway. So I was 4 years younger anyway. But one night they would always wait until we all went to bed to fight. And then they'd scream at each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, we can hear you. Like, we can hear every word you're saying. And I remember one in particular where my mother said, maybe I should just take Julie and go, because again, I was the youngest and the others were all teenagers by now. And I remember turning to leaning over and grabbing my sister and saying, "Don't let Mom take me away from everyone."
No kidding. Oh
And
my
she
God.
promised she wouldn't. She put her arms around me, and her 16-year-old, with all of her 16-year-old authority, said, "That won't happen. I promise." I was like, okay, because I believe everything you say.
My grandparents were very much in love to the point where they even stole Christmas trees together.
Oh.
But yeah, my grandfather cut them out of the park because they were poor. And
that's awesome.
I know.
Rory, I see your question, honey. I don't know, and I'm not answering. I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Hey, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
But like, they had 3 daughters. My grandfather was very devoted, but my grandmother was like, I don't know how to explain it, anxious, but she'd always be like an hour and a half late everywhere she had to go. So we have to lie to her about the times, because she would just sit there and very casually drink her tea going, I don't care if I'm late, fuck off. Very, very, very ladylike and things like that. And even though
Pinky
she's saying
raised, fuck
off, yeah, very calmly, like eating the smallest pieces of toast she could cut. And meanwhile, my grandfather, especially in his prime, he looked like a young Patrick Swayze. So he was very, very, very handsome and blah, blah, blah. And he'd be like, oh, we need to, and she'd be like, sit down and shut up. And then occasionally she would get worked up, and he would do the same thing going, well, sit down and shut up, Margaret. And she'd be like, you're going to get hurt. And he'd be like, I know. And it would be very calm. And I thought, he was a gentle giant, and she was gentle too. And then I heard the story of when my aunt went out with her girlfriends drinking.
We're hanging on your every word.
I know, right?
14, and they had 5 girls, and they had bought a 6-pack of beer somehow. And and they go to the park, and they're going to drink, and they're in the car, and they're like, oh, this is so naughty. And they're drinking, and the police showed up. And the police officer shines the light all around the car, looking at all the girls, and he gets to my aunt, and he goes, what are you doing here? Hendrix, what are you doing here? And his partner's like, what's the big deal? He goes, we got to let him go. Her father will kill them and us. And they just sent the girls home, just like, let's take the beer. Okay, you had your fun.
Won't tell if
go
you won't.
away. Meanwhile, they're on their way home. My grandfather is like, she's 10 minutes late. He went out to the like teenager hangout spots, like make out points and things like that. Started ripping couples apart, going, "You're not my daughter." And it just kept going. He came home 2 hours after she did, and he said, "You are in trouble." And she goes, "I cut the whips off of the 9 tails," because that was always a threat. And he's like, "I'll take off my belt." She said, "Your pants will fall down." And he would get to your room. And of course he didn't hit her, but it was always the threat of being hit. And she's like, "He won't touch me. I'll kill him."
Wow.
But yeah, he was just like tearing couples apart. Next day at school, though, they're like, "What did you do? Your father was out." She goes, "I know." Everyone was scared of him.
Dave, I'm proud of you.
Oh, hey. Congratulations. You need frozen peas. I just saying my first husband had one, and that's how he got through the first couple of days. This bag of very gently laid frozen peas.
Yeah.
You'll be all good. And good for you, man. Well done.
Yes, good for you.
Yay.
Do your part for population control.
Yeah. And for yourself,
If you're new to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right on.
That is the happiest news. The happiest
Sounds
news.
like peace of mind to me.
Yep.
Dave now tastes like the diet version of the original.
Look, I can tell you, anybody in the chat who's going to give Dave shit about this, I want you to know I'm a pansexual woman, and I've been with men who were had vasectomies and men who didn't. There is absolutely no difference.
Nope.
Performance is still just fine. Okay, so leave him alone. He is fine.
I just think it's funny.
Dora.
Artie would think that there's a taste difference.
Sorry, I just have, I live in the South and there's a lot of ignorance and a lot of like misconceptions about stuff, and people still make like, "Oh, you got yourself neutered" jokes, and it's like, fuck you, man. No, he didn't.
As long as they're still not douching with Coca-Cola.
Ow!
Oh God, I hope not.
No.
I only saw that in an episode of Carnival. I cannot speak to the reality of that. I hope that's not actually a thing, because that's just like one way to get the yeast infection.
That women used to do. That is something women used to do.
Okay.
Why would you do that? No, I mean, I don't understand like what the thought process was, like why someone.
I second Maya's question. Yeah.
I don't know. Why do they have candles that smell like somebody's snatch? How do you
that's
explain
because Gwyneth Paltrow's
right?
insane and thinks bergamot smells like a vagina. I don't know.
Oh, did you know that the Goop thing is on Netflix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I watch I listen to God Awful Movies. I follow their podcast. And they did episode 5, and it's hilarious. Check it out.
I kind of, I'll watch the YouTube thing, but I'm not going to give the Netflix thing any watch time.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
no.
I don't want to like have them think it's actually popular. Doorknob head.
Come on, man.
Artie.
That was Artie. You can't blame that on Doorknob.
Oh.
Don't make me whip out my teacher voice.
Oh, I think the boys want
to nice one, Dave. Excellent comeback. Perfect comeback.
Artie Stales Button has to do that video, and we need you to do that video. The soy sauce challenge.
Full nut flavor, way less filling. Oh, jeez,
come on.
What is going on over there, children?
They just don't know how to behave in the presence of refined women such as us.
No, ma'am, they do not. No, they do not. My accent's going to get thicker the longer this goes on.
I know, right?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And I'm an atheist, but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
This is what happens. This is it. All the guys come to girls' night.
Well, of course.
Oh.
It's like 10-cent beer night or something.
Right? Yes, it's late. It's not. And the feeling's right. Yeah.
I can't do it.
I'm a fucking lady, damn it.
Yes, you are. Yes,
That's
you
right.
are. And that's exactly how you answer that.
What we need to do is we need to get Linda dancing.
Come on, Linda.
See, Maya, this is why I love you so much, is because you remind me so much of my best friend, because like we've known each other since high school, right? And her husband's in EMT. She's the one who super glued her hand back together. And they're at the Christmas party for his ambulance service, right? Mm-hmm. And they're at the bad kids are all outside smoking, the bad kids being all in our early 40s now, but yeah, they're all outside smoking. And they're EMT guys. So they're talking and, cursing like EMT people curse. And somebody was like, dude, stop it. Like, and like kind of was like, and he was like, why? What? And Sherry goes, because I'm a fucking lady, God damn it. Right.
Oh, hi, Kitty. Kitty the atheist is here. Welcome to my channel.
Hey. I love Kitty. Oh my God.
I clicked on the wrong one. It scrolled.
Kitty.
Yes, Maya is stunning.
Can we get Kitty in here?
Yes.
Kitty's going to start her own channel.
Ooh. I vote yes on that, if that's okay with Kitty.
Yeah. I don't know. Kitty's been through a lot of shit too lately because, the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously?
No, Kitty.
Yeah. We mod on Progressive Liberals channel.
What's going on?
And
no, keep going.
Hi, IQ.
No, please continue, Maya. I've watched Progressive Liberal, but only a couple of times, so I'm way behind. I have no idea what's going on over there.
Oh yeah, he just talks about current events, politics.
Yeah.
I like Ethan because he is a political scientist. So he talks about, like me, I'm a news junkie, but I don't really understand why. I know what's going on. I don't understand all the stuff about like why.
Yeah, the nuances of
Me
what
too.
it
Me
means.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
why
like,
I watch
okay,
Progressive
well,
Liberal
Trump got
too.
impeached. Now what? It's like, well, okay, he's going to the
Yeah.
House to be, and then that's a trial. It's not, and everybody's like, well, he hasn't been impeached yet. And it's like, no, House impeaches. He's
Yeah.
impeached.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
he's been
what
impeached.
happens
He
to
got
him is determined by the Senate, but he has
Yeah.
been impeached. He will always be impeached. That's on the books.
Yep.
He just has not been convicted or removed. And so those are nuances about the impeachment process. I thought he had to be impeached in the House and impeached in the Senate. And that's an impeach, and then he's officially impeached. And it's like, no, it's always impeached. Just not the
exactly.
Senate doing nothing with it, essentially.
Yeah,
and
I learned that too because of this whole situation. And I had to go back and remember like what happened with Clinton. It's like, oh yeah, Clinton was impeached.
I had no
he just was
idea.
acquitted in the Senate.
I didn't realize that he was actually acquitted. I didn't realize what that was. I just thought the Senate was just like, nah. And they didn't do anything with it, kind of like all the bills at the House, all the 500 bills that the House has passed and were put onto the Senate. The Senate did take time out of their busy schedule of putting evil judges into conservative vacancies. Well, I mean, evil conservative judges into vacancies that they wouldn't fill when Obama was trying to place them. But they are now, like nobody's business. And they're hoping that we're paying attention to it, like it's not our business. But they're putting a lot of conservative judges into the 300 slots that opened during Obama's term that they refused to fill. And they're evil. They are fucking evil.
Yeah, they're pretty horrible.
But so that's what's been going on in the Senate mostly. But they did take time out of the busy schedule of vetting evil judges to vote against 3 House resolution bills that would protect our election and keep it fair.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Really.
Okay, Angie.
Linda, I'm sorry you're feeling bad, honey. Is there anything we can do to cheer you up?
Yeah, Linda, we can stop.
That's what I learned from PL's channel.
Yeah, we can stop talking about politics. We have other places to do that. I'm sorry if we ran you off.
Faye is trying not to die, and that is important.
Yes.
Yeah, Faye, please don't die.
We'll
Don't do
have
that.
a blue.
Oh, today was weird.
Girls
Sorry.
Without you.
Where's Linda? God damn it. Linda, get your ass back here. She just said a goddamn thing. She laughed at us.
Angie's going to be like, I'm never having you on again, Julie.
That's not true.
It's all about me. I'm the youngest of 4. It's all about me. So
that's not true. I
No.
like that none of the girls' nights that we've had up to this point have been the same, and they're like little snowflakes, each individual one, and they're always good. So I have no complaints.
No,
it's just kind of whatever happens, you know.
Linda?
Well,
Linda.
If you saw Linda's stream earlier when she and Morton were sitting there singing at each other.
Yes.
So freaking cute.
Oh, I missed that.
So much entertainment in one little Lego build is just the best thing.
If you're having a bad day, watch them. I started to feel a little less punchy and bitey while I was watching them. And I'm like, okay, I can handle this. Okay, the migraine medicine's starting to work. I need milk and eggs. And
then damn it, Math Pig.
Math Pig here. Oh,
streaks naked through the chat.
Math Pig always streaks naked through the chat, doesn't he?
We're glad to have you, Kitty. I've got links down below in the description for me and Faye and Linda, and I will go back and add Maya and Julie.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
When I made the thing, I didn't have confirmation yet if they were going to be here tonight. So
fair. I didn't answer you for a day.
Yeah, Angie called me earlier, and she was like, "Answer my messages," and I'm like, "This whole week has been a shitstorm." So I have a lot of messages.
I was here with my phone all week sick, but I just didn't see the message waiting. And then I was like, why aren't my Twitter? It's because I got a new phone for Christmas. Thank you, Junk Shop. I love it. But I got a new phone and I haven't quite set it up yet. So my Twitter thingies, notifications aren't popping up properly. Yes, thank you. Notifications. There's a word for it. Yeah, so they weren't popping up, so I keep having to remember that I need to A, fix that, and B, go in and manually check. And I actually remembered to go in and check. And yeah, no, yeah, that's way too long. That was boring. Okay, moving on.
No. We need to make Linda talk. I'm gonna keep harping.
No, we don't make Linda talk.
We don't
never make Linda talk.
Her joy is how we know how we're doing.
I do want to. I do want to tell
with Linda. We're bombing with everybody.
I know, right? I want to tell Linda, if she's listening, that Junk Shop and I have we have a running thing for her stream where, like, if we're both sitting on the couch and we're watching her stream, we try to figure out what the pretty things in the background on the shelf are.
There you go.
And I'm like, that looks just like a stuffed unicorn we have. And he's like, that is not a stuffed unicorn. And I'm like, damn it, you have younger.
It is.
Did you see her on MathPig?
I did not. I did because I don't keep up.
They were playing a game.
Oh, the
Quiplash.
Quiplash, yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Wait, I didn't realize she was in it.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe I did. I don't know.
She's quiet, but you gotta listen for the giggles.
Yes, we haven't had a sighting of Doorknob Head's colon in here today, so that's.
Well, thank goodness for that, I guess. Unless we're talking about the punctuation mark, in which case that's fine.
Nope, we're talking about an actual photograph.
Oh Lord, no, thank you. No.
Yeah, somebody started talking about spicy food in the chat, and Doorknob Head's colon was not and decided to tell everyone all about it for a few days.
Oh, okay. It's fun to share, but sharing isn't always caring. Just throw that out there.
I think
Now
Math Pig's gonna hate me. I love you, Math Pig.
Hashtag
you know I do.
Blame Math Pig, yes.
Math Pig, yes.
Always Math Pig's fault.
You know what? It's funny that that hashtag is making the rounds on YouTube.
Yeah.
Was it Chris from I don't know? He does an atheist morning show, and it's a running joke on there too.
Oh yeah. Oh no, low.
What happened?
No, it's okay. I was going back and forth between the private and the public chat. Sorry, I was paying attention though. I'm listening.
No, I was just looking at your face.
Oh, you're good. I have.
My Linda is sad. And it makes
I don't know what that means. I have 2 messages. I can't move my phone right now.
It's okay.
If I do, this whole system falls apart. There's like 3 law books, and then there's a thing that holds pencils and has a thing to hold either a TV remote or a cell phone, and that's how I'm doing this right now. So I can't move anything. No, and by the way, neither of us studied law. We just have a set of law books because we're that freaking geeky. I haven't read them. They're Junk Shops. Woo, almost said his real name, which also begins with a J.
Okay.
Anywho, bees. Let's forget about that. His dad's a minister. We don't need to do that.
Right. We're not doxing today.
Yeah, no, we are not. And I'm an ex-Catholic, and yeah, I totally married a preacher's kid. It's freaking awesome. They're as awesome as they.
Catholic? Huh? They were totally cool with you being Catholic?
They were I mean, they were more cool with it than I thought I was much more scared, I think, than I was terrified. Yeah, because I was not only was I, because I wasn't going to walk in and say, what up? I'm an atheist. No, I wasn't going to do that. So I think I was still neo-pagan at the time anyway, so I wasn't going to say that either. So I said, I was raised Catholic. That's not a lie. I was raised very Catholic. And so I told them that, but so not only was I, a papist and a divorcee and older than their son, there's just everything. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified to meet them, and they are the nicest people.
What's the age difference?
The age difference is 6 years. I'm 6 years older.
Nothing.
It's not. After a point, it's not. It's like if we met when he was 12 and I was, 18. No, that would be weird, but it's not now. No.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not now.
Yeah, it's no big deal. But
the first time my aunt met her in-laws, they had gone to Pennsylvania to do the meeting, and her husband's family was very, very conservative, and this is the 60s, and they said something very, very, very I guess racist. So she stood up, tiny little her, looks like Mary Tyler Moore, and she punched their dining room table and said, "Bullshit."
Oh, nice.
And they loved her for it.
Respect. I love it.
And she was like, I thought they were going to hate me, but at that point I was either punch the table or punch them.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Good choice.
They're a good choice.
Yeah.
And also, it's good to let everybody know where you stand. Just, be honest. One doesn't have to be obnoxious to be honest. And you can say, hey, I do not agree with that. And I that's racist. No, but I also like punch the table and bullshit. I like that better.
Yeah. I finally grew out of the punching the tables phase. So
well done.
But they haven't. My mother and my auntie are still the type who will throw down.
That's fantastic.
Linda, dear, we're here for you.
We are, and we love you, Linda. Sorry.
Love you.
So sorry. And Faith's got a headache, and dag nabbit, we're supposed to be having a good time.
No, but hey,
Linda
you and
put me
I
in a good mood today. So
what happened?
Yes.
I was in a terrible mood, but I watched Morton and Linda on their channel, and I felt better.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they're like watching kittens.
They are.
No, it's just like that feel good, like, oh my God, life's not completely horrible all the time. Like, look at them.
No.
Yeah,
no, there are lots of
the shitty DMs that I got today.
Oh, yes, you should, and you should never look at them again.
True.
Yeah, because you're a lovely person, Faye. I watched Angie's stuff a long time before, and a long time. But my God, I'm not even making sense. You know what I mean. Anyway, Faye, I've heard you a lot on here, and you're lovely. So, man.
Thank you.
And Maya's lovely, and this is sorry. And I'm babbling. Oh my God, someone else speak.
Stream.
Oh, you're fine. I just can't wait until we get Nadine back.
I know.
We're gonna have to hear about her entire vacation.
Yes, all the gory details.
Not all.
Yeah, all.
Do we know where she went? Because I missed that. Do we know where she went?
She's
to her boyfriend's.
Yeah, with her boyfriend.
Oh, just her. Okay. Hey, fair enough. Enjoy. Have fun. Bone away. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's why she's plucking the pheasant.
Yeah.
That was me being 12.
Plucking the pheasant, defeathering. Defeathering.
There's so much Maya love in the chat. I love it.
I do too.
Yeah, Maya keeps me from being too uptight, so that's why she keeps me in check when I start getting real pissy at people in the side chat.
Yeah, well, I mean, Angie, I know. You keep me in check though too, because like I see trolls and it like makes me gleeful. It's just like, oh, look at that little thing over there. It's all pissed off.
My brain goes to listen here, you little shit. You're fucking with my experience. Get the hell out.
My fun.
Yes, I'm having a good time. You're fucking it up.
Like, hey, troll, did you know XYZ? Well, usually it's like the political trolls, and I'm like, did you know they're trying to take away your Social Security? No, someone has to do that to me.
Fuck's sake.
And I'm just, they're just so hilarious. I just want to pinch a little feet.
Yeah.
No, misinformation campaign. Delete. And I'm like, wait, no, I wasn't done with it yet. But I have to learn that life isn't all about me, and I have to respect other people's opinions.
Yes, I do. I try to be. That's why a lot of times I am there watching progressive liberal, but I am not chatting. I just turn it
Yeah.
off so that I don't see it, and I'm there paying attention to Ethan because he puts it all out in plain English that I can understand. And
Oh yeah, thanks for the
Yeah.
views. We need those.
yeah,
Yeah, that's nice.
so I'm there. I'm watching. I just don't engage sometimes because I don't share
Yeah.
my opinions on such things because
You're a lady. God damn it.
I don't care if anybody knows what I think. Like it doesn't matter if they know what I think. So
I know. I think that's fair.
We're fuckers. So yeah, why? Like I'm not changing my mind. Just shut the fuck up. You know. Like,
yeah, I've already made my choices and decisions, and you can say whatever you like, and but I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do.
At the same time, I like the you know I used to have this kind of joke that I'd say all the time, and that I'd say like politeness is the lube of society, and it really is. Like you don't have to be a dick,
right?
Like if we can all, because we like public discourse in this country has hit a level where if you're not in a room like this where everybody is fairly amenable to everyone else's opinions, then people just start tearing at each other and viscerally, and it's so much easier to do that from the safety net of being behind a screen and a keyboard, when instead, what we really need to be able to do is argue civilly, because that's the only time you change anyone's mind. And I know it's hard. I know it, and I'm not good at it, by the way. I'm not saying I'm like the master of epistemology.
I was so bad at it when I was in college. 6 girls moved out of my dormitory the first 6 months I was there.
You're awesome. That's amazing. Oh, God. See, everything like that, I'm like, that's a triumph. And I'm like, nah, I probably shouldn't see it that way.
Well, no, it's not necessarily a good thing if people are afraid of you.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because,
no, but I mean,
I was raised by the punch the table small people.
Yes, exactly. But the thing is, we need all of those voices. We need punch the table small people, and we need loud people, and we need quiet, reasonable people, and we need, all of that. Bridge building people. There we go. All of that is important.
I have a dumb question, though.
There are no dumb questions.
Well, here's the thing.
I thought there are, but for this sake, no, there's not.
The whole passive aggressive, assertive, and all that other crap. If a woman is aggressive or assertive,
she's a bitch.
There can be a blurred line. It's different than I think when men do it, but when women do it, sometimes it's like obnoxious, like that video of that woman who is filming the guy behind her seat punching her seat. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I would have turned around and smacked him in the head.
I didn't see that, but that sounds horrible. And I wouldn't have done anything.
And his seat didn't. So he's behind her the whole time, punching her seat, like vibrating it and stuff like that.
Wait, is she driving or?
No,
in an airplane.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and she starts filming it, and people are like, "Oh, she was wrong because she reclined her seat. She was wrong because she filmed it. She was wrong because she basically didn't push her seat up and like be as uncomfortable as he was, even though her seat went back and his seat didn't." And the thing is, it's like she was basically online ridiculed like crazy.
Yeah.
Because this guy was punching her seat, but yet she was in the wrong.
Yeah. If we switch the gender roles on that scenario, then everybody would be saying, "What a jerk! This person's not a gentleman. Why did he recline his seat back into that lady's face? Why did he?" Or they would be calling her a fucking bitch. Like that would be the other, that would be happening.
A psycho bitch.
What got me about the whole thing is, you can see the guy sitting there. He's got a tray in his lap. He's got his little phone. He's watching his phone. He's got his headphones in. He's not having a problem. Like I don't see where her seat is causing him a problem. But I have no airplane experience, so maybe it is. I've heard it's.
I just did a transcontinental flight. I just did a transcontinental flight. It was amazing. We got to go to Edinburgh, and it was fantastic. But back in November, Junk Shop and I went to the UK. And so we were on 6 different planes, and that situation. No one did anything like that. Like, and part of it was like the longest leg of that journey is the transcontinental bit where, you know, or transatlantic bit rather, sorry, where you're flying over the Atlantic for forever. And it's hours and hours and hours to the point where like they actually like lower all the lights and like try to make you go to sleep so you won't be quite as jet lagged when you get there and stuff, which just didn't work, but it was great. It was a wonderful thought. They were very thoughtful. Wake me for drinks and snacks. They were great about that. But like beyond that, but it's like no one pulled any of that shit. And I think it was because the majority of the people had all traveled before. I honestly can't imagine anyone like we were late because they changed our flight. They upped it by 45 minutes. So the flight coming home, the transatlantic flight coming home, we literally ran through Heathrow to get to our gate. We were running top speed after going through the thing. They held the flight for us. We had to answer extra security questions. Then we get in, and I have never gotten the stink eye from 300 people in my life. But boy, did I, because I was the last person on that plane, and I'm like, I'm sorry, as I'm going down the line because everybody is looking at me like if looks could kill, I would not be here. And so I guess the point is the social pressure is so heavy to just keep to your space. And try not to make things too any worse for anyone else because we're all dealing with the same bullshit.
Right.
I think you guys are right. Like all of you are correct in saying that a man could get away with that. I don't see how a woman could. I think somebody would have shut that down.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they are getting on her at all. Like, so I've ridden, I mean, I don't fly frequently, but I've been in airplanes, and just me as a person, when I do things, I do try to keep in mind how it'll affect the other person. I'm not for
shocker. You have empathy.
It's right.
I'm not 4'11", but like I'm a small girl, so a lot of times people's actions are like, you know, and I'm also Black and a woman, and there's a lot of factors against me, right? So almost as a survival mechanism, I have to think about what other people are going to do in response to my actions. And so, I've developed a higher level of empathy than I've seen from the greater population at large. And I can talk about why there's a stereotype of the loud-mouthed Black woman, but we're past an hour, so I'll digress. When I'm on an airplane, I do not recline my chair if I see that the person behind me is awake, just as a common courtesy, because I've had that happen to me, and it's a minor inconvenience. Never in my life have I ever wanted to punch somebody's
Yeah, that's my thing. And Rory, I get that his seat wouldn't go back, but all he had to do was
I've been trying to work on my like there's a tray there, and I've been trying to work on my laptop, and then the person reclines, and like your shit's all fucked up, and you know now you have to figure and try to type like this, but like it's not all about me. If somebody is sleepy and they want to take a nap, like that shouldn't interfere with my playing solitaire or whatever. Right. You know, like, is it that serious?
Well, and how hard is it to just open your mouth and say, ma'am, I'm trying to do this here. And with your seat back, it's causing me an issue.
Ding, ding, ding. Exactly.
You know, like how hard is that to just say, hey, I have a problem with what you're doing.
Or the stewardess or whatever, but empathy is great, just as long as you're not apologizing for taking up the space that you deserve.
No, that's a fair point also, Faye.
True.
No, absolutely. 100%.
Kind of like hogging the armrest, you know.
More women
movies.
100% more women need to hear that. However,
for
you
sure.
can catch more flies with, and I think that if you can kind of use your techniques at empathy more manipulatively, I don't know that it's
it's not like to put too fine a point on it, but
schmoozing people to get what you want. That's how I use my empathy. So, you know, and in that sense, we're both getting what we want. You know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And again, you know, it just use your word. It sounds like we're talking to each other like we're talking to kids, but like use your words, you know.
Yes.
Say please and thank you. and move on. It goes a long way. Just a little bit of respect goes a long way with people.
And what's to stop her?
Time.
Well, and what's to stop her from turning around before she reclines and go, excuse me, well, is it going to be a problem if I lay my seat back a little bit? That's what I would do. And then if they're like, well, no, I'm trying to do this, and or I'm using the TV screen, or I'm using the tray, or whatever, then you just don't. I don't know. People just don't know how to communicate anymore.
And some people just don't know how to act.
For guys, and especially if you're like a devout Christian or evangelical, women are not, or Muslim. Let's not Christians here. And I'm hearing more and more about the Jews, which is, I guess, where all this stem from. Not very woman friendly, and women are not things that deserve respect. Like, this is like the mindset. So I mean, we really have to be a little shrill, a little bitchy, just to earn our deserved place in society.
It's like there's a weird elevated thing. It's like you're either on a pedestal or you're not thought about at all, and that's messed up. I'm sorry, Faye was going to say something and I jumped in.
No, it's fine. In 1992, this is a good example. Auntie took me to college. We were in a line. My friends are waiting for me. I get my luggage out, first day of back to school.
Right
and
on.
Instead of doing the line out, she drove over the lawns.
Over the what?
She drove on the grass. She drove over the curbs.
That's what I thought you said.
And my friends are like, oh my God. And I'm like, well, now you know where I get it.
Yeah, I mean, more power to your aunt, but I would never. Oh gosh, no, I would never. Oh, I'd be.
Yeah, you guys are.
I'm way too easily cowed by social pressure. I would never do that.
You were so nicer and so much more respectful, and I'm the type of person who, okay, I take up my space, all 5'6" of it,
Nice.
And I'm not willing to give any space. If it's
sorry, that was jealousy. I'm 5'4". I'm the tallest woman in my immediate. I'm the tallest woman in my immediate family. My mom and my sister are 5'1". But anyway, please continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'd be a giant in my family, but
woohoo!
But I've got some that are small as 4'6". But you take up your space. The woman's seat reclines. But the thing is, it's not like she got extra space. This is the way the airplane is designed.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no such thing as extra space on an airplane.
Exactly. But he is in an aisle seat, so he can stretch out his legs into the aisle. All kinds of things. But yet he's punching her thing. He's got his tray set up. You can see it. He's not really that inconvenienced by her pushing it back. I'm wondering if she had been a man, if he would have minded at all.
I certainly don't think he would have punched the back of the seat. Mm-mm. Because another man might have stood up and said, what?
Right.
Yeah. And it would have been a whole other situation. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, my husband has got a foot and 100 pounds on me. So a lot of times, just for like when I go talk to a mechanic or like anything that's man dominated or where I know that women aren't stereotypically, I don't want to I don't want to look like I'm like getting, every time Maya's on stream, she's always downing all guys. It's like, no. But we all know that there are some guys out there that just don't, as a rule, respect women. Yep. But my husband, he oh my God, he's a huge raging redneck. Nobody thinks that we would date together. To the point that like he's raised in West Virginia. He's got like the accent and everything. And people just automatically assume he's a Trump supporter. We live in Baltimore, Maryland. And he's like, Trump supporters will walk up to him and start like ranting and raving and praising Trump. It's like, oh my God, finally, somebody I can talk to. And he's whoa.
One of us. No.
Right. Like, no. He's like, this happens to me once a week. No. This has never ever happened to me. That's so weird.
I've had the same experience. I never go to a mechanic without my father or my husband.
Right.
One or the other is with me every time. And because
my husband's a big Bubba, so I'm like, you go set the tone, because I know that I can then go in and have a conversation, because they'd rather like, and he's like, just, oh my God, like he's on the verge of an argument like all the time. Like that's what comes through with him. So people would after meeting him, people would rather deal with me, and I'm like a breath of fresh air.
Nice.
So it's like, they're like, oh, thank God you're the one that's talking to me right now.
No, that's a great strategy. I get it.
Yeah, conversation. So it's been, but it's just, it's a shame that we're at that point in the society still where it, a woman has to do that.
It reminds me too of something you just said, Maya, of like you said, people assume. I can't tell you the number of times as a Southern white woman, how many times people have said incredibly racist shit to me, assuming I'm racist also. Like I lost count years ago. Yeah, and it's like, hey, I know we look similar, but don't assume that I think like you do, because I fucking don't. And you can, just know. And it's like it's it's a thing about, like, it's almost constant. It's like having to defend my own character against other people that happen to look like me. It's like, no, I need you to fuck off with that shit right now, because I'm not. Yeah. So I don't know. It's fucked up. But
I've lived in Maryland and California, and the white people will tell me, I'm sorry to be like the white people, like,
no, it's okay. We exist. It's a thing.
But when I talk to white people, I don't know, in Maryland, which votes for Democrats in the same numbers as people in California, so we are as liberal as California. So when I talk to people, and I've lived in both places, and when I talk to people there, it's like, you get the testing, there's like leading questions like, is it okay to be racist with you?
Shit.
Almost every other
no, I know what you mean though.
Which is one thing, but in almost every other state, like, people are just like, like, people just say racist shit, and it's just known like that.
And what pisses me off is when people get racist and they look at you and they go, oh, another white person, I can be as racist as I can. And then that's when you start opening up your tablet and go, you want to see my family?
Yeah.
Because there's hardly any white people in the next generation, I tell you.
Nice. There you go.
And I remember I was playing a game with someone, and they're from Ohio. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, the hurricane's going to land in Mexico. I hope it tears it up and blah, blah, blah. And that's where my nephew's grandparents live. And I'm like, God. Excuse the fuck you. I have family there. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you were Mexican. It was like, I'm not, but that doesn't mean I don't have family there.
No kidding.
And they're like, oh, you have white relatives who live there. It's like, no. I'm saying I have Mexicans in my family. You fucking dipshit.
Yeah.
Hello. Or friends. Like, I've got, like, that's me in Puerto Rico, and that's me in Iran, actually, which I'm not saying I support the government of Iran. I do not. But I have friends who are Persian by descent that have been my friends forever. And recently, when a bunch of this shit, and again, not getting into it politically, but when a bunch of shit went down with Iran, y'all know, I actually called a dear friend of mine, and from elementary school. And I was just like, hey, I know we haven't talked in a while. Sorry about that, but are you guys okay? Because apparently they had just issued like a bizarre travel ban that could apply to anyone of Persian descent, regardless of citizenship. And I was just asking her, like, are you and all of your family in the country right now? Because if you're not, because they were actually detaining Americans of Persian descent at the Canadian border. And this happened, I'm sorry, I don't have specifics off the top of my head, but this happened like a month or two ago, something like that. But and she was, she was like, no, we're all here. Everybody's cool. And I was like, thank you. And she was like, no, thank you. I didn't even know that happened. And it was one of those scary moments where you're like calling, people because I mean, like in that situation, yeah, like our parents were friends, like we all knew, like the town I grew up, I live in Memphis, and I've lived in Memphis is home for me. It's been my home for over 20 years, but I grew up in Paducah, Kentucky, which is a very small town. And I totally just doxed myself to anyone who knows Paducah because it's literally that small, but it's fine. I'm okay with it. But like, there's a big Persian community there because they all came after the Shah fell in the 80s. And a bunch of them settled for some reason in Paducah. And so, I was lucky enough to have all these friends.
You have the wisdom to be worried, though, because you can't forget. I mean, George Takei, he can tell you. He put Japanese into concentration camps in the United States. And as George Carlin says, it's not freedom. They're not rights. If someone can just take it away.
Yes. Oh.
And that is the bare bones of it. We have to be careful. We have to be aware. We can't just sit there and say someone's going to take care of us. Everything's going to be fine. Blah blah blah. I mean, if a hurricane's coming, have water and food, extra toilet paper. People make fun of me, but I don't care.
No, do it seriously. And yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Faye. Like, and we all have to be vigilant against this stuff because it happens all the time. People's rights are taken away all the time.
I'm worried that my nephews are going to get deported. I'm worried that my niece is going to get deported. I'm worried that my cousin's going to get, attacked because she is not white. A lot of my family is not white. We didn't. It's like sexual selection. A lot of my family looked at white people and said, not good enough.
No, we're good. We got enough of that.
Not good enough. And it's just like, but then I run into people who talk. It's like, oh, those Puerto Ricans. It's like, wait until you meet my cousin Gloria. And they think
she's
that
awesome
I'm going
and she has an accent.
And they're like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, you're going to love my cousin Gloria. And then they meet Gloria. And they're like, she's your cousin? It's like, yeah, she's my cousin, you fuckhead.
I had a student.
Kind of weird because, like, I know my husband is talking about moving again, and like the places that he wants to go, I'm like, babe, we need to stay on the coast. Ideally, wherever we move, like, I still need to get a job, and like, not as like. And again, nothing against anybody in like retail at all, but it doesn't pay shit. Like, I'm a manager.
No, my husband's been a retail manager for years. It doesn't pay shit. Go ahead, Maya. Sorry. I just wanted to second that.
My employer has to feel confident that I can instill respect in people enough to where they'd want to listen to what I have to say. You don't want to like put this Black woman into this position where it's just going to completely disrupt everything and everybody's going to be worse off for it, like not even, but also for me. So I'm like, I can't just move to Montana, my mom sucks. Phoenix, and she was saying the same thing. Like she's an accountant, and she went to another department to help them out because they were short staffed. They were there all week helping them get caught up on shit. At the end of the week, they did a pizza party to celebrate the fact that they were caught up. You would think that the people that were helping you do that would be the first at the table. But the ladies that they spared were Black, and the rest of the department stark raving white. And so the manager, also white, said, no, you ladies need to stay here and wait, like pretty much for the leftovers. Like after the staff, all their food.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Scraps. And my mom said that they just walked out. They were like, you know what? We have money. We'll buy our own lunch. And I'm like, and so I'm like, wait, what does that even mean? Like, why aren't like you helped them? Like, why wouldn't you be the first ones up there? I can't. I haven't worked anywhere where that would not have been the case.
Yeah.
Sex, race, color, religion.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. But that I believe that could happen, absolutely. But yeah, me neither. That's so shocking. Is it shocking just because? It's shocking because I'm privileged, I think. Yeah, probably. It's okay.
No, it's not shocking just because it's shocking because it's 2020 and we've drawn a dick on Mars.
Yeah. And it's
We're
still,
still going through this
I know,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
Well, and going back to the feminist line, for all of us is we still don't have equal pay for equal work, and it's 2020. So there's that too. But yeah, I also do want to recognize
a dick
that
on Mars.
Yeah, there's shit I don't know. Yeah,
there's no excuse for any of this shit anymore.
No, there's really not.
Yeah.
And we trace the human genome. We know we all come from Africa. It's like that's where our species started. It's like why
multiple times, always out of Africa. Interesting.
Thank you.
I'm an alien.
That's a fact.
Faye, I would like to make first contact and offer you the hospitality of the earth.
Yeah.
On behalf,
if all the critical thinkers and the humanists could just relocate to Mars and we could start our own humanistic society.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tease me, Maya. That'd be so awesome. Right? Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I wouldn't mind leaving the planet.
My dad and I had that. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to drag my dad do any weird shit right now. But we had a thing. Anyway.
Ladies, we have gone well over our 1 hour mark.
Oh, hey, Angie.
It is time to shut it down and leave us wanting more. We'll be back next week.
Always.
If Nadine is back, we'll be on Nadine's channel. If not, we'll be back on Linda's channel.
Well, that's if she's rested enough.
Yeah, I think Linda's going to be okay. She got all us to hang.
No, I mean Nadine. She may be like passed out because of all the pheasant plucking.
That's
Insert
true.
off-color joke here, and we're done.
It has been awesome having you ladies on my channel tonight, and everybody in the chat.
Thank you.
Bunches. Thank you for your input and your sense of humor over there. I just love you. Loved meeting the new folks.
If anyone would like to teach me how to use GIMP, let me know.
Oh, hey, Maya, Angie, Faye, Linda, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be in your company. This was lovely. Thank you.
All right, you both have standing invitations to girls' night from now on. So, all right, anytime. So everybody wave and say bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Love from Memphis.
Say that.
I do say that.